Imagine waking up in a world without Wi-Fi, phones, cars, or even electricity. Your alarm is the crow of a rooster. Breakfast cooked over a wood fire. Clothes woven by hand. This is not the set of a historical movie. This is life in certain corners of the world, where the 21st century hasn't fully arrived. In a global society that moves at light speed, I set out to experience the exact opposite, a life frozen in time. My mission was to spend a day living like it was 1920, not in a museum, but in actual working villages, where people still follow traditional ways. No phones, no modern tools, no shortcuts. Just the raw, honest rhythms of pre-modern life. From the misty highlands of Georgia to the remote rice terraces of Vietnam, here are 5 unforgettable days I spent stepping back a century and what I learned from each. Number 1. Ushguli, Georgia. Herding, baking, and stone towers. High in the Caucasus Mountains, in the Svaneti region of Georgia, lies Ushguli, one of Europe's highest continuously inhabited settlements. Getting there is not easy. The roads are winding and barely paved, but the view, snow-capped peaks, medieval towers, and grazing cows is worth every jolt. My rules were clear. Wear traditional Svan clothing, use no electricity, and learn tasks from local elders. First up, herding cattle into the alpine meadows. My host, a 70-year-old man named Georgie, handed me a staff and pointed uphill. Later, I helped his wife knead dough and bake bread in a clay oven called a tone. The flour was ground by hand in a stone mill. No mixers, no timers, everything by touch, sight, and smell. Evening arrived with candlelight and homemade cheese. No social media, just stories about wolves, winters, and wartime survival. What stood out is that physical labor was constant but meaningful. Life here is hard, but it's real. Number 2. Breb, Romania. Jam making and haystack engineering. Nestled in the Muramures region of Romania, Breb feels like it never left the early 1900s. Horse carts replace cars. Wooden gates guard hand-built homes. And villagers wear traditional wool vests, not for tourists, but because they always have. My host family greeted me with homemade plum brandy and a list of chores. We began by gathering apples from the orchard and slicing them for jam. The stove was wood-burning, and the air was thick with fruit and smoke. Next, we constructed a haystack, a literal architectural feat. Using the tall wooden frame, we layered hay into a conical tower, secured with ropes. It was physical, sweaty, and oddly satisfying. Dinner was polenta with cheese, and sleep came on a straw mattress under a hand-stitched quilt. I woke to a rooster, sore arms, and fresh milk. What stood out there is that the pride in manual craftsmanship. Every stitch, stack, and stir had a purpose. Number 3. Ha Giang, Vietnam. Fire, hemp, and mountain life. In Vietnam's far north, Ha Giang province borders China and is home to ethnic minorities like the Ait Hmong and Tay. I stayed with the Ait Hmong family in a wooden stilt house nestled among rice terraces. The morning started with fetching water from a stream. Then, I helped the grandmother spin raw hemp into thread. It's slow, delicate work, requiring patience and dexterity. Cooking was next. Over an open fire, I learned to stir-fry greens in pork fat using a handmade iron pan. Rice, steamed in bamboo, was fluffy and fragrant. Clothing, woven and dyed with indigo, took days to make each shirt a work of art. In the evening, the family shared songs, and I tried on traditional attire. Thick hemp jackets, silver jewelry, and hand-embroidered sashes. What I love there is that community is everything. Every task is shared. Every meal a group ritual. Number 4. Ait Benhaddou, Morocco. Mud brick living in the Atlas. Famous as a movie backdrop, Ait Benhaddou is more than a film set. It's a living village built of red earth and straw, where a few dozen Berber families still reside. With the guidance of a local named Fatima, I spent my day as her apprentice. We fetched water from a communal well using a rope and goatskin bucket. I carried it back heavy and swaying and learned to make traditional tagine over charcoal. She showed me how to mix mud and straw to repair walls in her family's home. The material, once dry, is incredibly sturdy and insulating. I slept on layered rugs, under stars bright enough to read by. What stood out there was that time slows. Tasks are done by hand, but never in haste. Number 5. Wae Rebo, Indonesia. Coffee, candles, and circular homes. Wae Rebo, a UNESCO-recognized village in the mountains of Flores Island, is accessible only by a 3-hour jungle trek. But arriving feels like reaching another world. The village consists of circular, thatched roof houses called Mbaru Niang. I was welcomed into one by a family who offered strong black coffee roasted over a fire. We prepared dinner by candlelight. Root vegetables, fish wrapped in banana leaves, and rice. I helped pound coffee beans, sweep the bamboo floors, and learn traditional greetings in the Manggarai language. There were no phones, no lights, just human warmth and the crackle of wood. What stood out there is that simplicity isn't lack. It's presence. Everyone was exactly where they were. A day in the past, lessons for the present. Living like it was 1920 wasn't just a novelty, it was humbling. Here's what I took away. Hard work is grounding. Everything took longer, but every task felt purposeful. Time feels different. Without screens and schedules, days unfold naturally. We overcomplicate life. These villages thrive on routines that haven't changed in generations. Connection is key. Whether through shared meals or songs, people stay present with one another. The future needs the past. Technology has given us convenience, but not always connection. These villages are living reminders that progress doesn't always mean better. Sometimes it just means faster. Spending even one day in the past reminded me how resilient, resourceful, and rich a life unplugged can be. The world may be rushing forward, but if we lose touch with where we came from, we risk forgetting what truly matters. If this journey inspired you, like, share, and subscribe for more cultural deep dives and immersive adventures. Know a place where time stands still. Comment below and let us know where we should go next. See you next time. Because sometimes, to see the future clearly, you have to live a little like it's the past.